Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome back to the Neil Robertson Pro Career on Snooker 19. Today it is time for the last 16 of Season 4's Coral World Grand Prix between ourselves, Neil Robertson, and the Belgian Bullet, Luca Bressel. Now, it wasn't a long time ago, it's fair to say, that these rankings were reversed. I remember that Luca Bressel was well in the top 8 and we were down in 11th or 12th. So it's nice to see we've got the better of him now. You can see we're playing well. We've won 4 ranking events this season and hopefully we can add to this as our 5th. It'll be a great event to win. Never really gone far in any of the Coral events in particular, so be a great opportunity to do so. And I think we've got a good chance against Bressel to get through to the quarterfinals today. So looking at the matchup history, we've got a good record against Bressel. It's 5-3 in terms of the head-to-head record, but just note that last time we did play against Bressel in the World Open quarterfinal, we lost to him 5-2. I think we were still recovering from the bruises that Ronnie O'Sullivan defeat in the World Championship left us with last year. But nevertheless, it's something to be minded of. He beat us by quite a bit, but as you can see beforehand, when we were in some good form, particularly in Season 3, and actually the first tournament in Season 4, the Riga Masters, we beat him comprehensively. Bressel is one of those players that either really turns up or doesn't. It's simple. You can see that apart from that Gibraltar Open match, however it's ended, it's been pretty one-sided. So looking forward to this one, seeing how it goes, and let's get into it. And I think the key today is to not see the finishing line too early. I had a few comments that were quite right, really, on the last episode, that against Graham Dott we were 3-0 up, and Graham Dott brought it back to 3-2, and ultimately that was because we could have won the game 4-0, but decided to go for a half chance almost, rather than what probably was the best shot, which was a safety shot. And we can get a bit greedy, I'll definitely admit that I can get a bit close to the winning line and get all excited and think, well, we're 3-0 up, so we'll go for it. But looking at what happened against Graham Dott, one shot or even two can really change a match. So it's Luca Bressel to break off first in this last 16 match. Now, I discussed on Wednesday, I think I might be going to 4 episodes a week, and I think I probably will be doing that from next week onwards. But I'll see, because I'll go back to work next week, so whether that's just more of a little, what's the word? I don't quite know. Whether it's more of a dream than a serious aspiration, that is questionable. We've got a good chance on the red here. My problem is he's getting round off the black. There's not really a gap if you look.
Not an easy one.
Give it a go, though.
Chance.
And that wasn't bad at all. That was pretty much perfect.
1.
Albeit we're very straight on the black, but we'll just have to play with some side to get onto the next red. But we're playing like the classic Hendry at the moment, in some frames. Potting a long one, and, well, I wouldn't say clearing up because we didn't really do that against Dott, but certainly getting a good score on the board.
8.
But I hope you guys are all well. Friday today. I've had my week off work, and as usual, it's absolutely flown. But I can't moan, because every other week flies by as well. The ones I'm at work for as well. So I can't moan at that particularly. Just got to enjoy the rest of the week off. And hopefully, we can start that weekend by having a good split here.
And this is a real opportunity.
Yeah, it's a good split. There's a few potting opportunities. Let's see what we've got. That's to be one of those sense pocket opportunities, but, you know, I don't think we can miss this. I could be wrong. I want to stay around the black if possible, but it's going to be tricky.
He's going for it.
That'll do on the red, and pretty good onto the black if I say so myself. Again, albeit a little bit straight.
17.
Playing this with a lot of power.
But if we take the start as we mean to go on model, we're not doing too bad to kick off with here. It wouldn't be too bad to get this done in one visit, but once again, we can't be too aspirational. I think that's been our problem. We've got, it's not a problem being too aspirational at all, but it's that just that complacency which is the problem.
25.
But looking good so far. We're striking the cue ball well, getting good position, albeit maybe a bit straight at times. But we're staying in and around the black, which is the best one, of course, to stay with. But as long as you
33.
get a score that's good enough, then that doesn't really matter. But that's a bit skew if there. We'll still be able to get a pot into the centre pocket.
40.
Try and cover that position.
He just wants to slot this into the middle pocket. That's a beauty.
It's not that red off the cushion. That'll help us.
41.
That'll help us no end. But we're playing well here. We certainly are.
40.
We keep knocking blacks in. I'm not going to mention that M word just yet, but we're not doing a bad job of it. It was a good split. It was, you know, quite a fortunate split given some of the bad splits we've had recently. That was one of the better ones.
Well played.
56.
Just wants this pot to drop into the pocket.
But I think we've got a very good chance from here of at least winning the frame, despite any aspirations for anything more than that, which might be explored if we can
Play this with a lot of power.
get enough to win the frame first and foremost.
64.
She wants to keep that on the black.
65.
Because we have got a chance here of that classic M word. How many reds have we got left? We've got 6 reds left on the table. So black and the next red will secure the frame at the very least.
72.
This red required.
And just the red required, and it's there. Good shot.
And that shuts the door on his opponent in this frame.
Right, so that's the frame done. What about an ulterior motive? What about another aspiration? Got to keep the cue ball on a string if we want to stay on the black.
Aiming for the centre pocket here. Great shot.
81.
Got to keep our cool. A bit straight there. But again, we got the lovely power of screw back, which might help us.
88.
Yeah, back onto the black. Now this is probably a little bit too straight again. What can we do from here? Can we play some side?
Playing this with plenty of power.
Don't want to play with too much power. Just needs to pull up. Yeah, that'll do. That's okay.
86.
And the red and this next black will be the century. Not too straight on that. I'm happy about that. Bit of leverage to play one of these reds now. I'm inclined to go for the one on the cushion first. That's the same. Might be a mistake.
What a
But I'm just thinking
century
it
that
might be
is.
harder to get onto later. But a very good century. No question about that one.
104.
Now can we do what we've never done in this career mode, at least as of yet.
He's aiming to sink this into the right corner. No issues there.
105.
Right on the cush. So, gonna have to hold for a bit of topspin here and hope we don't go into the centre pocket. Just figuring out how much power we need to play this with. So the black's there. This isn't going to be hard enough, is it? Damn!
112.
That's a shame. Well, we'll try and play the double here. I really can't see it, but who knows? No, it ain't going to happen. Damn it. But a great break for 112, despite the M word, which you could clearly see that we were very much going for in the end. It was a very good break, considering that we quite literally did the Hendry model there. Didn't think we were good enough for that, but we were on that occasion of just taking a long one and clearing up. So a really good start, and poor old Brissell has only had one shot so far. But we're playing some good stuff at the moment. Just need to get into our mind that we're not going to do that every frame. So we need to just keep it cool. It's got a good line, this. Certainly back up to bulk. It's touching that green, which might... Oh no, it's come off the green, so not as tough queuing as I thought it might have been originally. Now he's touching the green, there's no question about that. Just a game of tappity-tap off the pack, really. At the moment. Push that green all the way up to the cushion. He's let one red out, but again, it's no problem.
Foul.
But he's gone in off.
He's chosen to play on here.
But I don't really think there's going to be much benefit to playing a pot here, so just try and play a good safety.
This is developing into a fascinating safety battle.
A little bit thick potentially in the end, but I think we do block off that one red that will go with the blue. Might just be able to see it here, though. Don't think the blue does block it, actually. Yep, you can see it. And a mistake not to put our opponent back in there. But a great pot from Brissell, and can he do what we did to him? Let's find out. It's certainly a decent chance.
Eight. 14. 15. 20.
Needs a good shot here to hold for a colour. There is a route through, I think, just to that black. I think you can see that black if he places delicately enough. And yep, sure he can. But he's going for the blue. And he's potted it. All obviously knew what he was doing, but that is going to be the end of that.
26.
I'm sure he could have seen the black there. In fact, I'm intrigued. I'm sure from there was a route through for the black to pot. Again, could be completely wrong. There's a nice little route through here. Playing thin to hit the red, but this has got to be played at the right pace. It has been. Lovely little route through, which obviously Luca won't be able to take advantage of coming from the other side of the table, but he can still play thin off the reds.
Not an easy
Blue and
one,
pink
but
inhibiting balls, but wow.
Oh, what a shot that is.
What a shot that was, I agree. What a shot that was.
1.
Potted some brilliant balls so far, but I think he's just going to leave it at that. Can't see him getting down to... No, poor shot really. After a brilliant long red. Again, no problem with it really, because he can just play a safety. Problem is the safety's got to be a good one. And there, well, put it this way. It wasn't. Very simple way of putting that. It wasn't a good safety at all. We'll just drop the red in, but position's not guaranteed.
1.
So we'll play the yellow, try and come back down the table. Try and avoid a repeat of what Brissell did earlier. This is coming, but it's going to hit off the jaw. Well, would you believe it? Would you, Adam and Eve it? And I don't think there's any way through to a pot from there, which is... Well, there is, but yeah, it's just too much of a risk. Too much of a risk. Knowing what chance our opponent could get if we missed it. So I'm going to not play that one. Play good enough safety up to bulk. And if he wants to play that pot, then be my guest. But if he misses it, then he leaves quite a chance.
Robertson, 3.
Nope, just playing a safety on this occasion. So this is a frame that hasn't really got going yet. To be honest.
Very important.
Oh, that's too hard. But we've hit it, thankfully. Trouble is we've only left the lone red now out. And that thick hit on the yellow, I don't think will do us any harm. Because I don't think you can see the red from there. Nope, the pink's going to block it. And this is getting a bit tense now. He's brought a few more reds out into the open. And he's not got the safety of the brown. On this occasion, there's a potting chance. I need to play this fairly hard to avoid a thick cannon on the red and the black on the cushion. But equally, like with every shot that you are going for a pot of, the most important thing is that you pot the ball. The most important thing is that you actually hit the power bar. Yep, it's there. Don't go in black. Oh, yikes, didn't expect it to react that way. But it's certainly got the black off the cushion. You can't argue with that. I mean, we can laugh now, but if it had gone in off, I'd have been crying. It's always one or the other on this series. We either do brilliantly or terribly. There's never really any in between. We don't usually tread water. We either swim or sink.
7.
I think this is a good chance now to assert ourselves on this frame. Try and get 2 in front to be a good position to be in. But again, not getting ahead of ourselves.
Nicely positioned for the yellow.
Played some very good stuff in frame 1, but that doesn't guarantee anything long term.
Well, I'm not surprised he's taking on the long pot here. Well, an excellent pot.
13.
That's it. Good position for the black. Nicely played round it. And as we saw in the last frame in particular, if you can get the black onto its spot, it helps you out significantly. If you want that help, that is. If you want to play the bulk colours, then feel free.
$22.
One of the only things I criticised in this game,
Play this with plenty of power.
which I don't think is deliberate as such. It's just one of those quirks with not having the budget and the developmental time. It's just the lack of the different stadia. You know, for all these events, apart from the biggies, of course, the Triple Crown events and the Home Nations events, they're all in the same arena.
Decent position to take.
Or certainly look, you know, like a standard template. Now, if we had ever had a future snooker game, which looks a little bit dubious at the moment, but if we had another snooker game, then I would love to see unique venues for all these events. I know that if it was Snooker 21, it would make sense, because everything's being played in the Marshall Arena. But joking aside, it would be nice as a feature, that. But I think, to be honest, you know, a lot of other things about this game you can't really quibble about.
38.
And those that say it's got PS2 graphics, well, beg to differ. Really do, on that score. Tricky pink, this. But we got it under control.
44.
Just wants
we're
to see
22
this
ahead.
into the left corner pocket.
Pop these remaining reds on the table, and it's 2 from 2.
Tremendous pot.
He seems full of confidence at the moment.
45. $52.
So 30 is the gap. Indeed, we only need 1 red. If we pop the black from here, then it will be the frame, barring snookers, of course.
53.
Obviously, learned our lesson on being straight on the blacks. Every time we've approached it, we've not been straight on it since. And the black's there, and that should
No real way for his opponent to win the frame now.
win the frame for us. But we're just going to make sure of things.
Doesn't want to overhit this.
Pop the remaining red and the colour. Not on for a century here, so I don't think I'm particularly going to be bothered about that.
61.
Pace is very important.
And while we're on this sort of momentum, it'd be great to get on with the next frame.
68.
But, as I said, going to try and avoid a repeat of the Graham Dot match, not get too ahead of ourselves.
Neil Robertson, 68. Frame conceded.
And just take every frame as it comes. But at the moment, at least, from the first 2 frames, it's a positive start.
Thank you.
And pretty much
Third
10 minutes
frame.
each frame,
Look
and
at
we've
the
done what's
start
been
to break.
required. And that is not the best break-off from Brissell. Though in some aspects, he's got away with it.
It's half a chance, but a chance nonetheless.
Tricky pot, this.
Really
But it's
nice
there.
opening.
Great pot. Be good if this black went over the middle pocket, but we're not that fortunate.
1.
Not that fortunate on this occasion. It's going to have to be yellow. This is going to be a tricky opportunity to make too much out of. But we'll see. We'll see how we
he's
go.
taking it on to the left corner.
Not going to play anything out of our means.
In it goes.
Great technique.
Just see how we go.
Superb cueing.
3.
He's playing for the right corner here.
Good pot.
That's a
Good
great
pot.
Brimming with confidence and on a bit of a roll at the moment.
4.
Now pot the blue. Now just looking if we go for angles wise, we can bypass the black and get to this red if we've got a decent enough angle. Tricky pot though, but we've got a pretty good record along the cush. So I'll back ourselves to pot this. Again,
He's
tricky
taking on
shot,
the
but I
pot
don't think it's
along the
outside
cushion.
of our means. Looks pretty good to me, rolling along the cushion. That's it, goes off the near jaw and nicely into the pocket. Bit early to try and risk that black at this point. Makes our job harder, sure, but again, we don't want to risk that miss and then put
Good cueing.
Brissell in with a really good chance. Keep that black off the cushion and, well, keep that black there. And if we miss a shot, then I don't think it's too bad, the consequence from there. So I'll be inclined to play blue again from here. Although it's a trickier shot, it's just all about the percentages game. Again, missed the blue and he's got to bring the black into play to have any really substantial break. Which is going to be our issue as well, I accept that, but
The long
it's
pot's
still early
on,
days.
And he's going for it.
Great technique. Superb cueing.
obviously the cue ball moving around a lot more with the black not in its natural habitat, as it were. So we'll give ourselves 2 options here. If we fancy it, we can play the black down the cushion, but we can also play the blue, potentially for a split of the reds.
22.
I am tempted by the black. Blue also looks pretty good here as well.
He'll play this with plenty of power. That's a great split.
It's a good split. It certainly is.
27.
We've got to pot one, and when there's that many to choose from, sometimes it's very easy to play the wrong shot. Gonna give it a good old whack, make sure we get out of there. See, even at that pace, we've only just got out of there. Could do with the red not going too far. Do with the blue still being potable. Which it is. We've just got to take a bit more care, though, now we've opened up the pack. Last thing we want to do is leave Brissell an easy chance. Just come off the cushion, that's it. Now we can line it up for the black if we wish. A lot better than we did previously. That should be good. That should be good. Just keep rolling, just keep rolling. Nice and straight, and that will be okay.
34.
Now we've just got to ascertain which one of these we're going to aim to go for next. And I've got my target. Lock and load.
He's going for the left corner pocket.
This could be a mistake if it stays out, but nope, it's absolutely fine.
Great cueing.
As you can see now, the black's back on its spot. It makes things a little bit easier for us. But increase the risk of Brissell making a good break if we are to lose the frame. So, again, it's just all swings and roundabouts. And we might have made this a bit difficult for ourselves. By leaving that... Ooh, it's tight on that red. It's tight on the red, I have to say. Might be best just... Can't play the black from there, can we? Get any leverage on the blue? Yeah, it's going to have to be the shot to play. Now this is risky, it really is. If we've got our angles wrong.
This will be a real test of his cueing.
But we fluked it. That is the biggest slice of luck we're going to get all day.
47.
But even though we fluked the blue, we haven't fluked position. And it's a difficult safety from here. So we're just going to play the safety. It's the only thing we can do. Can't play a swerve shot with that sort of consequence. We'll kick the cue ball fairly close to the middle of the table. That's it, perfect.
Neil Robertson, 47.
Puts a bit of pressure on Brissell. Oh, it's a good shot though. It's a good shot from Brissell. And I know I've said I don't fancy swerve. Oh, no, I don't. Don't fancy a swerve shot there, you can forget it. This might put him in this, but I'm just thinking that if a swerve shot goes wrong, the consequences are far worse. And if this stays where it is, that helps us out just slightly. It wasn't a good shot though. So is it? I don't know if he's tried a half-baked plant there. Not too sure, but whatever he's done, it hasn't worked. He's left something that's far more attractive to us now.
This is building up to be a really interesting test of their safety skills.
And it's a good pot. So a tricky black, so we are just going to hedge our bets and go for the
Just look at that for a positional shot. Superb.
pink ball.
1.
But this now gives us a good chance of going free to the good.
He really looks in fine form at the moment.
7.
Again, I don't really think it's just... I don't think it's how Brissell's playing at all. I just think that most chances we're getting, we're taking them at the moment. Which is exactly what we did against Graham Dott, but... Well, at least in the early exchanges. This match, you have to say at the moment, is pretty much mirroring that. And if we do win this frame, we'll have to see what happens in the fourth.
15.
He just needs this red.
But we just need the red. And it's there. So barring snookers,
And that effectively
free on the
shuts out
bounce.
his opponent in this frame.
Brissell not really offered too much so far today. Although, as I say, it's not It's not one of those where particularly Brussels could have done a lot, given the way we've played. Played a few skewy safety shots, but his potting ability has been, well, outstanding, to be honest. Some of the long shots he's got have been really good.
22.
So no need again to clear the table, but I think on this occasion it's not a bad shout just to get RI in.
23.
Again, even after 4 seasons. Bit of practice. Still doesn't harm you.
30.
We've not quite got that one right, and we're going to need a good shot here. But as I say, there's no real risk because frame is won. But it's a good pot. That's a bit of a confidence builder. And it's a good positional.
31.
From there, anyway, at least. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. And that's all that matters for now. Back over the other side of the table. That's it. Nice. Good shot. Albeit makes it a bit trickier.
Well,
Can't see
he's
this
taken
one
it
going in,
on.
but we'll give it a punch. It's not far off, but it's not quite going to go. But a good enough frame there. We got ourselves in a bit of trouble towards the end, but it's not going to hurt us at all. And within the half an hour mark, we are 3 frames of the good.
Frame, Neil Robertson.
But we were like this last time against Graham Dott.
Thank you.
Played very well.
Neil Robertson.
And then
break.
it nearly ended in tears. It was nearly 3 each, and we nearly went down to a decider. If it wasn't for a Graham Dott mistake in frame number 6. Let's see how this match goes. Can Luca Brussels fight back? And with that sort of break off, he's going to struggle.
He'll be
Great
aware
stuff.
how important pace is for this shot.
Well, it's a good enough chance to at least get in here. To what extent we can do much else, we'll soon find out.
1.
Needed to play that nice and soft on the red.
7.
Give us a chance to get on the pink. The black being tied up at the moment, so didn't fancy that any day of the week. Don't want to play this one much harder than the intended, or else we'll go into the middle pocket, which I don't fancy this early on. But it was a good snooker. We were rewarded with a chance here. So let's see what we can make of it. Albeit a bit of an awkward one because the black is not available at present.
13.
So can't say I've had it easy here. Just trying to analyse whether the pink maybe is the best shot here. If we just go into the reds and try and open things up. So we aren't going to make much happen else. Bit of risk involved though here. It's not quite gone as well as I had planned, admittedly. They've not gone all over the place, but we've ended up nicely on one on the cushion. Which I'm glad about, because we're not on a whole lot else. But I think this one, the centre pocket makes the most sense. It's the best shot from a positional perspective.
Aiming for the centre pocket here.
Yeah, we've middled it.
21.
He's aiming for the left corner here.
Good pot on the pink.
Wow. He'll be thrilled with that.
It was tight to go, but I was fairly confident it would, so that's okay.
He's finished a bit awkward here.
Yeah, I'll accept that
28.
criticism.
He's taking it on.
Going to be tricky from here to get another pot, but it's a safety opportunity at the worst.
What a top pot that was.
That's okay, actually.
Quality cueing there. Really good.
34.
Chipping away here. It's not the best opportunity, but we're making what we can of it at the moment. But we've done it again. We've gone a bit too far. We've outdone ourselves.
Robertson.
And we've only got ourselves to blame. I mean, I know we shouldn't be bulletproof. I mean, it makes it no fun for you guys if we're bulletproof, if we're just smashing in centuries every frame. But I hinted at it there. We're just going for scraps and bits and pieces, and we should have really played a safety there.
This is a potential route back into this frame.
Yep, to route back in. It's not an easy one, so there is that on our side.
7.
But let's see, in his first real chance, what Brissell can do. Is it going to be deja vu? Is it going to be a little bit of a fight back in the Graham Dot match that will make us worry a little bit? Based on that, he's going to struggle. He's on the green. He's potted it. He's played a good shot, you know, there. He has done, certainly. And you can now see the black, which will no doubt help.
19.
And this starts to open up slightly. I don't know if the black will go back on its spot from there, but there's no other spot available. Yeah, it's got to go back on its spot, but the black now not available. So what does it go for here? It's going to have to be the blue, and it's there.
25. Foul.
That is unfortunate for Luca Brissell. Cannoned the pink
6.
and went in. That is really unfortunate, that.
He's attempting to sink
Because he was
this
playing some good
into the
stuff up
left
until
corner.
then, but you've got to keep it going, or else
Well played.
you get found out in this game.
Wonderful shot.
And that might just be all she wrote. But that being said, it ain't going to be easy to get on the next red.
Playing for the middle pocket. Beautiful.
Off the cush.
Wonderful pot.
Yeah, that's about as good as we could have hoped for there.
7.
These two next to the black are like, yeah, no thanks. But the two next to each other that were playing the first one, them here, it's a good chance to get some points on the board.
Wonderful shot.
Poor old Brissell there. He played a real positive shot. I know that feeling of playing a positive shot, and well, it's certainly not coming off there. So, pink and this next red will put us 30 ahead with 43 on.
14.
That's going to be too far.
15.
I think it might be best to play safety here because we've got a good grip on this. But then I guess, now we'll play the colour. I'm just thinking we pop the colour and then play safety. We've got another 5 points in the bag. It makes it a bit harder for Luca to get back into it at that. And if we miss this, well, oh well. But yeah, it's another 5 points for us. Maybe makes things a bit more difficult to play safety.
20.
But
He'll be playing safe from here.
we'll just put this one back up to the bulk. That wasn't the plan. I'll tell you what though, we've got away with that to an extent, but that wasn't the plan.
Neil Robertson. 20.
Maybe we shouldn't have gone for that. So Lucas played a safety of his own there, which is a good enough shot.
That's an excellent
Play
shot.
some side to get out of this.
He's fought
Better still, pot the red. Oh dear. That bit of drama was quickly diffused. And that, even though it wasn't advertised by the commentators very well there, that should finish off the game. Should finish off the match, that. Now lead by 42 with 35 on. So this next red
7.
along the cushion will pretty much seal it for us.
He's taking on the long
Tricky
red
shot, though,
through the
from
corner
here.
pocket.
But we got it nailed.
That's a beauty.
And as I said, it's one of those against Brissell. It's one-sided usually, for one or the other. And we've benefited from that in today's episode.
11.
And we're through I mean, I'm going to say this in jest because we were worried about against Graham Dott. But looking at the score lines, we've got through the first 2 rounds without any real issue. The furthest we've ever got to in the Coral World Grand Prix is the quarter-final in Season 1, where in fact we were knocked out by this man here. We are playing against today, but luckily no repeats of that. But we'll get a nice increase in our prize money from Season 1, given that we only got to the last 32, got knocked out in the first round in Season number 2.
20.
He's an expert long potter, and he's taking this on.
But we're looking in good form. It's been some events that we've won, and well, we've struggled a bit actually afterwards to get back to our form. But the first 2 rounds here, you would suggest that there's nothing to really suggest that. I mean, we've gone way too far for the black, but it's still potable.
31.
But a nice episode under an hour. Have a nice breather before the next one, next Monday. I think it will maybe be a best of 9. But we pot the black, we clear the table, and it's a really good game. For us anyway. Not for the neutral perhaps, but we dispatch Brissell. We've got rid of him 4 frames to 0. Highest break 112 in that first frame, only 54 points for Brissell. And although we didn't quite reach the heights of what we did in the first frame, we played pretty well throughout. So we're first? Well, we're first in the match, I guess. But we're through the second round now. Now we go into the quarter-final on Monday, which is against the Juddernaut, Judd Trump. Things turn up a little bit from here. So we renew our rivalry against Judd Trump again. A best of 7 frames. It's going to be 1 episode. This one's over. And yeah, should be a good one. If you enjoyed that one, folks, then make sure to leave a like down below. Comment your thoughts as well. And subscribe for regular Snooker 19 content. Thank you for your company today, folks. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye for now.